is Jordan Randall. I do high jump. I go to Warsaw Community High School in Warsaw, Indiana. I'm the best high jumper to ever come out of there, and I don't think my records will ever be broken there.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm here for it. What's your PR? What's the record since you are the first ever to jump as high as you've jumped in high jump?
Oh, my record's 7'1/2". I did
Okay,
that my sophomore year.
okay,
you said you did that your sophomore year,
Hmm.
so you're a junior this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
um,
okay.
okay.
Do you do
I'm
any other
glad.
events besides high jump?
Oh, I do the 4x1, the 200, the 100, and in indoor I do the 60 meter.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
so, so Jordan, when did you first become interested in track and field, and then specifically high jump?
It was in fourth grade, and I remember I just tried it one practice, and then I just ended up being really good at it. Did it a couple meets, and I was actually our number two high jumper. One of my friends, he was in sixth grade when I was in fourth, and he beat me in every meet. And I remember how excited I was whenever I beat him in the city meet because that was like the championship type meet of elementary school. Yeah, I finally beat him in our city meet, and I PR'd. I was really excited
Awesome.
about that.
Nice.
Um,
So what got you involved with track to begin with at all? Not even without just high jump.
Oh, it was just something to do. My main sports were actually football and basketball before.
mhm,
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you still play either one?
I quit those just to pursue track.
When did you stop?
Eighth grade, I quit playing football, and going the summer of like going into my 10th grade year, I quit basketball.
Okay.
Hmm.
Just focus on track after that.
Yeah.
you usually don't hear that. You usually hear athletes saying they're running track to get better for basketball or football. So that's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah. Yeah, we have full appreciation for that one.
Right. So who's been your biggest inspiration in the sport so far?
Do you guys know who Dontavius Hill is?
Enlighten us.
Yes.
He's a jumper. He went to Auburn. He's very big on like self-confidence. He's a Christian athlete. That's the most important part. And he is an amazing jumper.
So
Right.
was he
So
a,
did
like
you
NCAA champion?
I don't think he ever won any of the national championships, but yeah, he's still an amazing jumper though.
Okay.
no, that's a big deal. So what's been one of your fondest memories of competing so far? You know, you're now into your junior year. You shared a little bit when you first started in track and field and being the second high jumper and
Mhm.
then being able to beat one of your teammates. But what's been your most memorable moment to date?
Oh, definitely my PR jump because the thing was I went from 6'8" to 7'1/2" because I figured out to get me first in the nation for my class, it was 7'1/4" and not six because I was gonna go to 6'10.5" because I thought before that was gonna get me the number one spot in our class, but it was actually 7'1/4". So I went to 7'1/2" and yeah.
Okay. You're the number one junior in the country.
I'm returning number one in the nation.
Okay. Overall.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Nice. So what with that, you mentioned a little bit about a Nike, about a Nike team. What
Hmm.
so what do you do outside of the school sports? Are you like in a club team? Are you joining up with some of these other groups or what's that
We
look
have
like?
actually kind of like a school club thing, if that counts. It's like whenever we go to our national meets and we don't represent our school directly, but it's only kids from my school who do it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what's this winter look like for you?
Actually, a lot of big meets this winter. I was gonna go to my this meet against Purdue, and I was really looking forward to that because all the Purdue guys, I'm pretty good friends with them, and I jump against all of them. I've lost to all of them, but I think I can beat all of them. So I've wanted to go. I really was looking forward to that meet, but they're not having it this year, so maybe next year. And I was gonna go to Virginia Beach too because I got invited to that meet. It was the biggest indoor meet in the country, but because of our state's rules, I can't go to that either. But
When does that meet? I'm being nosy now.
that was no, you're good. That was a MLK weekend.
Okay, so
Why
it's
can't you
coming up.
go?
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's like, but I think
that's
that
coming
that
up.
rule applies like after
Right.
the school season officially starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's just what the state like wouldn't let me go do it because it's like starting too early.
So is it your coaches don't want you to start too early to
No,
compete?
it was our state rules. They said that we were planning on going to it, but the state wouldn't let us go.
Okay, we'll
So
revisit that after.
yeah, because we need to make sure you competing in the right, getting the right information
Yeah.
so that you can compete. Yeah. So how do you balance your athletic commitments with your academic commitments? Because it's a lot, right? Practice and school. So how do you balance the two?
I've just figured out like last year I was not good at balancing it, but this year I figured out I just can't get like overstretched and I got to be organized. Like organization's the biggest part about it.
And what do you do to help you stay organized?
Always like make sure I get all my work on time. I've been trying my best not to get stressed this year. And he's like keeping my head space all correct and whatnot. Like because I just get like really cluttered easily and like overwhelmed. But I've just been doing a lot better job at not letting that happen and whatnot.
Yeah, I know a lot of people we've spoken to before when it comes to being organized and balancing school and track. They use a lot of them use planners, and so
Hmm.
in using a planner, it helps them keep everything straight for school, and then it also has like a calendar in it that helps them keep everything outside of school straightened out as well. And it's something you write in, which I know a lot of people like to use phones these days. However, there is an art to using a writing tool to actually help you stay organized. And then your environment as well. So like if your room is together, then it helps your
Oh
mind.
yeah, I always got to keep a clean room.
Yeah. So all that like all those little tricks.
Hmm.
It's all
Sure.
good stuff.
What would you say has been one of the most challenging aspects of being an athlete?
Actually, what we were just talking about balancing school with it,
Hmm. Hmm.
because I feel sometimes quite a bit of pressure from track, and then school like adds on to that because I feel the pressure to like I gotta go PR every meet or I need to do good, but then I sometimes like forget that school is more important that I'm a student before I'm an athlete.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. That Go ahead, coach.
You go ahead, coach. No,
Well,
I was going to say, and so you were talking about where you are from mental space and focusing at the meets and wanting to PR. So how do you mentally prepare yourself for a competition, right? So you have the side where you're getting yourself organized with your academics, and then the side where there's some organization to practice and competition and stuff like that. So how do you mentally prepare in those moments for competition?
I always keep the same warm up. I don't know that I always got to do like the exact same warm up every time. I always like tie my shoes a certain way too and whatnot. That always I got to keep that the same. And I just know like pray before meets and I know God's with me and I know that no matter the outcome, like I know like I still tried my best, still did good, still gave it 100% all the time.
now with some of the things that you've accomplished thus far, I'm assuming you were state champion.
No, I actually wasn't. For indoor, I tied for first place, and for outdoor, I had a bad meet, and then I actually got third in outdoor.
Okay.
That's still a big, I mean, that's still a big deal as a sophomore.
It really
I
is.
get it. I get it. Like, number one is always the focus, but to place third at the state meet that and then tie for first indoor, that's a big deal. So kudos to you on that. But your
Thank you.
hunger and thirst for more, that's a part of being a competitive athlete, but definitely want to celebrate that as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
Now, but the other side of that is now I know you wanted to win it and you didn't. So
Mhm.
how do you handle that when it comes to like situations like that? Those setbacks, those disappointments. How do you handle that as a top tier athlete?
Work even harder and just like use that as motivation to just like become like 10 times better than I was before.
Okay. Now, let's say it's in the same meet because you do run multiple events. So let's say you're in a 4x1 and you drop the baton and then you run the 100 and you false start. How do you high jump after that?
Oh, well, usually high jumps actually before like all that, but after I just pick myself up and dust it off. Like you can't, because what separates the good athletes from the great athletes is being able to brush off that stuff and use it as motivation for like upcoming like the next thing. You can't be like looking back because that's just gonna like bring you down even more.
Okay.
True. I like to dust yourself off. Go ahead, coach.
No, I mean I like that too, because because a lot of people don't. I mean that's why I wonder, like, because you can get in a meet where you have that something goes wrong and then your head is all messed up and then it's not you don't have the bounce back that you need to finish up the meet good and it's like oh I had a bad meet, but you had a bad event versus a bad meet, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that's what I always wonder, especially when you're at a higher tier in terms of
Yeah.
competition. So do you
Mhm.
compete in like Summer Olympics, USATF, AAU? Do you compete in those types of events?
The only thing I do over summer is the national meets. But no, I don't compete in any of that other stuff.
So what?
Like
So like the
Junior
high school
Olympics.
national meet?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Now, being that you're number one overall coming back in high jump, did you have you received the invitation from the Milrose Games?
I don't think so, no. I'm pretty I don't I haven't.
Okay, I'm just curious because I know they're out in New York, and there's a couple other people who've been on the podcast who have received invitations out there,
Mhm.
but I don't know. They were running though, so I don't know. I think they have high jump out there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I
I'm
because
I'm pretty sure they do.
I remember one of those on the Nike Zoom call, they were talking about the Melrose. I can't really remember what they said about it though, but I don't think it's high jump. I'm not certain though.
They may not.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think being an athlete has shaped who you are, your character?
It's taught me a lot. It's taught me how to be humble and like that's the biggest one, like how to be humble, not have a big head about anything. And just like I need to like act right. Like it's freeing me up quite a bit. It keeps me like in check, I should
Mhm.
say.
Okay. Now, with your humble spirit, how do you define like success? I know you said you want to PR every meet, but when that doesn't happen, what are you looking for? So, what constitute as a success in a meet, even if you didn't PR?
Win or I don't even know about winning. Like coming in within at least 2 inches of my PR.
Okay. So if you didn't do that, then it wasn't a successful meet.
Not really.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cut and dry
Look,
there.
look. Either it is or it's not.
Right. Right. So tell us about. I mean, I know you're. When I first reached out, I reached out to your dad just to get a hold of you. I saw, he showed some clips of you jumping.
Yeah.
What role do your parents play when it comes
Um,
to getting you, through this time and everything else?
well, they're both my biggest fans. They always want me to perform to my best. My dad's actually a coach.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice. What's your dad's name? We want to shout out. We like to shout out the parentals and the coaches whenever we can on the podcast. So
Oh, his name's James.
shout out to Coach James.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, nice. So you win a lot, and
Yeah.
and so tell us about what your ideas when it comes to sportsmanship. Like, what's that look like for you?
Oh, I feel like for track, you can't really be arrogant. Like I cannot stand arrogancy in track. Like you always have to be humble. Because I think track's the most humble sport like there is, honestly.
Well, it has to because at any given day you could go down, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
It just it's about all the things aligning for you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
That makes sense to stay humble. I would say there are a lot of athletes that we come across who are not humble.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
don't like
right, against the clock or how far you jump or how high you jump or how far you throw, that
right.
can humble you really quick if you're cocky, a little too cocky.
because
Um, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was just gonna say like nobody's better than anybody else. So you can't have a big like everybody's equal. So like that's how I always see it.
Mhm. So would you say that's how you view your competition? Like it's all level playing field the day of the meet?
As in like a skill in the event, no, there's definitely people who are better than others, but just as people, like yes, like
Okay.
everybody's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, with your victories, how do you celebrate those?
Unless it's a PR, I don't really celebrate.
Okay,
Hmm.
strictly business.
So
Yeah.
Jordan is about the PR. So we know
I
when we see
know.
you at meets.
Well, we keep talking about the PR. What's your goal here? What's your goal for this season in terms of what
Yes.
would you like to hit, and what are some of the things you want to achieve?
I want to win Nike Nationals. I want to win indoor Nike Nationals. I want to win my state meets, both of them. And I want to jump 7'3.5" inch. Yeah, because that
Okay.
gets me the junior state record too.
Love it.
Okay. What's the state record?
7'4".
You get 7'4", you got them both.
Uh,
Yeah, I would
uh,
love to get that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what these goals and things that you have in mind, Jordan, how your focus is on each time you go out and compete, you want a PR. How do you stay motivated through training sessions? Because it's day in and day out, right? And what keeps you motivated?
Just knowing with like every little thing I do, like everything counts towards how the outcome's gonna be. So like every rep, every little thing, like I just know like if I don't do that at 100%, because I want to be like the greatest I can. So like with every little thing, I know that I'm getting a step closer to that.
All right. And with all your hard work, what do you do to prevent yourself from, or to maintain your health, maintain your ability to continue to compete at a high level? What type of recovery things do you do? What happens there?
In season, I take ice baths. I always do like knee strengthening stuff, like because I got tendonitis pretty bad from jumping. I actually overdid them the other day, and then high jump practice was kind of a struggle.
Mm.
But then I got over that. But ice baths and rolling, always stay moving. And I got these like compression sleeves that I wear that help with recovery.
You don't see a chiropractor around there?
Oh no, I do. Yeah, I see a chiropractor too.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Mm.
I'm a chiropractor, that's why I asked.
Oh really?
That's why I'm laughing extra hard.
I was, I was like, yeah, I want to, because like even, and I did a lot of my, certifications earlier with USA Track and Field, and the big thing that kept coming up with a lot of them was using chiropractors. Like
Mm.
that's like the hidden secret behind a lot of these athletes. Like Usain Bolt had a chiropractor. That was a huge part of his training regimen.
Hmm.
It was like working with his chiropractor. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like being a chiropractor would be a really cool job because I got a pretty good friendship with my chiropractor. We talk quite a bit, but I could not go through all that school.
you never know what you could do.
Right. Like we tell our student athletes, all of you all, like, regardless, you're gonna get older. So you may as well sacrifice doing what you love, studying, because you're gonna look back and say, oh, I could have just went ahead and did
Right.
that. Well, speaking of you said your dad, Coach James, is your coach. How do you handle feedback from him and other coaches?
Um, always receive feedback with respect, no matter how you feel. Always, like whenever we video a lot, like whenever I'm watching videos, no matter if it was a good or bad jump, always gotta pay attention to that. Like, can't think about the jump. You always gotta pay attention to what you did like really good or what you did wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
Okay.
really receptive. Look, being coachable is huge.
Hmm.
Right. Now you seem to have a natural talent for this. And I
Hmm.
don't know, but what's your views on natural talent versus hard work? How do you look at those?
Hard work beats natural talent 100 times out of 100. Natural talent never beats hard work. It can't. I don't think it can at least.
No, you're about right. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of examples of natural talent that have just like fallen off. And I can't stand that whenever someone has natural talent but they don't want to put the work in to like be great.
Okay. What's your At the end of it all, what would be your ultimate goal when it comes to track and field?
Oh, be the best in history.
All
Mhm.
right. And that's
Look, he is short and sweet and to the point.
it is. Like
Mhm.
So we know individually you contribute to the team, but what makes you a great teammate?
Oh, I love all my teammates. There isn't a single one on our team that I don't get along with. I always cheer them on in their events. Like every single one of them's like a brother to me.
Okay. Now, what you're jumping right now, it's almost a shoe in that you'll be somewhere in college. High jumping. Everybody in college works hard. What
Mhm.
separates you from the rest of them?
I feel like just the fact like being like a really short jumper, I feel like you got to work like quite a bit harder and like a lot of motivation and just like the want to be great. Because I feel like not everybody has the want to be like great. Like some people just have the want to be like good, but I just really, really want to be like amazing at what I do. Great.
Now, you said a short jumper. How tall are you?
Oh, I'm about like 5'7".
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
you're right.
Yeah.
You got bunnies,
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
sure at my national meet, I'm like up to I'm like right here to everybody.
and you got
Yeah.
major bunnies.
Wow. Now, if you could change anything about track and field, what would it be?
How much attention it gets. I feel like it deserves more attention than what it gets.
Mhm.
We're working on that.
Yeah, I think by the time I'm up there, it'll have a lot more attention than what it does right now.
Well, there's a couple things in play now. Like Michael Johnson started this track series. It's
Hmm.
supposed to like line up with like how the major grand slams with tennis. It's track slam, that's what it's called.
Mhm.
The major grand slams with tennis.
Oh, I think my dad told me about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so he's doing that. There's some other things in the works in the state of Indiana for like
Yes.
a top performers meet,
Yeah.
indoor anyway. Um, so maybe we'll get a little bit more attention to it. We'll see.
Yeah. I hope it does. It deserves it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, if
so
there's
if
any piece of
oh,
advice you could give
yeah,
to a younger
yes.
person looking to get involved with track, what would that be?
Find what you love and work really hard at perfecting it. I mean, you can't be perfect. It's impossible to, but try your best to perfect what you do.
So Jordan, if our viewers wanted to follow you this year on any social media platforms, share what those platforms are: Instagram, TikTok.
Uh, I just have Instagram. It's like, do you want my username?
Sure.
Yes.
It's all lowercase, no capitals in anything. Jordan.a.randall.
Okay.
Well, we
Jordan
are
dot A dot Brandon.
excited. Yes, we are excited to see you this year
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on and speaking
Yeah, I
with
appreciate
us.
you having me.
Yes,
Yeah. And we look forward to seeing you this season.
Thank you.
absolutely.
All right. Well, you have a good one. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.